Let's enter madness. So I guess last time we wrapped up, I was just escaping from that prison. No, it was yesterday. I should remember how much, but I don't.
Who goes there?
Am I in the Hawkins
That
house?
nightmare again. I need a drink.
Alright, I think we're back in the Hawkins house now. Wait, what the hell? Oh, okay, that's the doctor lady.
Fine.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
I feel like I got hit by a train, probably?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Okay, well, that's an odd place, but whatever.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being...
Am I lagging?
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, not at all.
What else did you uncover, Mr. Pierce?
Let's talk to the cop.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
No, he
That's
wasn't.
what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Psychology.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Grab something
Intrusive
quick.
and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Bradley, what do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then...
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital. Called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Had to adjust that light. But hey, we're back. Let's talk to Colden.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was his creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He would
Okay.
be happy if he knew we were...
So did Charles just join
I
a
know the
cult
risks.
then,
I don't
or?
fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps. but
Try to make
no
sure
one
the
would
audio's
allow a
good.
Psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses.
That's an
Not to
understatement.
mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Let's see.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was
So I guess that's a different audio.
Dr. Fuller.
Audio
A
cut.
nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs. The pain. I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Radley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You
Well,
likely woke
dude.
up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
I don't think he has any
When
idea.
I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove.
What has
Did
she
you
been trying to
discover anything
prove?
else?
Like,
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
yeah, we just talked about that like
course,
2
he's a
seconds
patient.
ago.
Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can
He
explain.
kind of got folded into an
Tell me
accordion.
how Mr. Sanders...
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see
I
how
don't
it can
think
help
she's
crack
dead.
the Hawkins case.
Honestly.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's
Art
probably
collector,
how
huh.
they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Let's
You're
stay
right.
prudent.
Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to
Butterfly
see
effect?
Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Guess I can't walk in front of them.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Let's have a drink. I could use it. I deserve it. You are now an alcoholic. See if there's anything else I can find around here. Okay, I kind of picked up all the books. Do I have character points? I have 3 of them. Let's bring up that strength a little bit. We both know I could use that. And we'll leave. Pierce, Colton, and Bradley decide to team up to solve the Sarah Hawkins case. They have a new trail to follow. Francis Sanders, an art collector and friend of the painter who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house in order to speak to his widow about the shambler that the unfortunate man mentioned before he died. Madness. Man, it doesn't even just night, just bangs on the door.
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
Yeah, I know, I watched.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
Yes,
I
yes,
bump
I do.
into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died.
Yeah, I didn't get to see
How
him the
was
way
he?
I wanted to, but...
Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
He started raving, screaming that a dimensional shambler had found him.
Mercy, that story again. We have him interned.
Because he's insane.
That was when he began to convulse and twist with pain. Or terror. It's hard to tell.
He like bent in half.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not really sure of what I saw. Or what I didn't see. But it's best that you weren't there.
I should have been there. What you're telling me is outrageous. I need to understand. How could this happen? in a reputed institute. And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
I didn't do anything.
With
I
all
just
due
found him.
respect, Mrs. Sanders, it was you who sent him to this asylum, not me.
How dare you? What was I supposed to do, Detective? Upon seeing such a brilliant mind disintegrate in this way, waking with a start every night with him shrieking in horror, petrified before this accursed painting, unable to look away,
I mean,
until he managed to gouge his eyes out with his own hands. I should have listened to Dr. Fuller.
That's
Let him
creepy.
intern him months ago. If I am to be condemned, it is because I did not act sooner.
yeah.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
I mean, we should,
Mr.
but
Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler. to
I was
use
like,
his
wait, I didn't pick
precise
that one.
terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage.
It's like I
I
kind of
suppose
have
I
to.
have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long. The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Oh, I can recreate this? Alright, let's recreate this. Alright. We're gonna examine this teacup. I'm sure what? They're probably all sitting there drinking tea.
Frances Sanders
Yep.
and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Alright. Who's playing the piano? The
A
wife?
house of artists.
No, we're just gonna inspect it. Cool.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally.
Oh, that's
Did
kind of
Sarah
creepy.
Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Maybe was cursed? I don't know. You tell me.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Jealous? Wow, that was an odd misspelling. Is that... Okay. That was an odd thing to see.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
I'm sure you do, you crazy ass.
Did she really care for him after all?
Agree to return this body. Okay. How long has this been? Like 1 day, 2 days? I wonder. Locked. Bah humbug. Defeated by a simple key.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Edson gold molded record.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
Okay.
I can't take
Oh,
anymore.
okay. I was like,
I can't hold him back.
was there more?
Francis, I should never let them take you away. What have I done? Everything is my fault.
Alright, well, she's losing her mind. Where is this painting? And where did Kat go? Did she just leave?
A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those.
More sleeping pills?
Strange.
For
For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
She must know something.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Oh, there's Kat.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've
I
got
can't
a lot of
help
bad
if we just
habits.
run into each other.
Some
Damn.
can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings.
Huh.
She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater.
Oh, that's right. I'm still in
You need
Darkwater.
someone with
I'm like, am I
network
back in
and a
Boston?
means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
What is this? Read the book. Oh, an achievement. Cool. Except to read an unholy book. Oh god. Alright, well. This'll be fun because it'll change my destiny. Well, that is one nice gallery, that's for sure. Filled with a lot of creepy stuff, like, damn. That's all you do is, huh? Okay. Well. It's an odd reaction to that, but alright.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
So this gallery just something like, you know, I'm sure there's something for me to investigate here.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
It honestly looks like this game's gonna be a multi-playthrough game just to get all the achievements for it. But
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
oh, there's our beautiful, friendly painting. Get some oil. A bear beating up another bear. Is that a bear? No, it's a dog attacking a. I don't know what the hell that is. Alright, well, let's go look at this painting. What the fuck? No. No. Okay. Holy sh... What? What? Talk about a bad dream. What in the unholy hell is that? You don't see me. You don't see me. You don't see me. You don't see me.